Hello friends, welcome back to Raju Notes channel for this defense and SMT update. We will quickly do the updates. Let me once again clarify that these videos are best viewed on mobile, and the main idea of my presentations are always being that cover as many as topics as possible with little bit information, so that there is some question in the exam and you're not caught off guard as to what it is, because once you know about something you can increase onto it. Okay, here the first one today we will discuss what you should remember is this term called as Nord Stream 2. Well, Nord Stream 2 is a 1230 kilometer gas pipeline from supplying gas from Russia to Germany. The process is already underway, and it is about 150 kilometers remaining, and in case this completes, then Russia will probably change the world order of gas supply. And with gas pipeline, the dependency on the Middle East countries will reduce, so this will certainly affect the India's gas I must say requirements from the Middle East also. China has launched a cyber warfare against India that is going on ever since Galwan. We know that China has been putting on something. Recent test in case was that of the power supply in the state of Maharashtra, which though it was denied, but there are chances that it was due to the Chinese cyber warfare. China's global ambition never seems to have come down. What point now you should remember is Polar Silk Road. We all know what is CPEC, what is Silk Route, what is old trading Silk Route, and I think now a new route called as Polar Silk Road. And this is China's very ambitious plan to construct a Polar Silk Route, particularly in the development of Arctic and the Antarctic region. And here it is planning to increase its militarization, and also in the name of ecological and environmental protection, China plans to occupy these two places. And so one should be aware as to what is this Polar Silk Road plan of China. We have been talking about Quad a lot, and recently even US has said that Quad is a great thing. But the case in point here is, how does Quad benefit India? Well, these are 6 points which you should remember. That is, the Quad provides India with a powerful platform to advance its interest in East Asia. It will deepen the country's ties with member countries and benefit at the diplomatic leverage for sharing the burdens in defense. It is also a good chance for India in shaping US policies in Afghanistan and Pakistan. The Quad Security Council will help India counter the Belt and Road Initiative, that is the BRI project of China, and also it is an answer to the CPEC project, wherein the CPEC was trying to ignore New Delhi's essential concerns of sovereignty and territorial integrity. Well, it will also provide a powerful platform to advance India's interest in the region and strengthen the Act East policy. It will also foster the economic growth with a better market adaptation, which will lead to more employment opportunities in India. And it will also boost India's maritime capabilities that will help in tackling the unconventional threat in the international waters. So these are the benefits of Quad, in case a question comes onto it. Well, India proposes to include the Chabahar port in the North-South Transport Corridor. Well, North-South Transport Corridor is basically something like a shipping sea links from Moscow till Bombay, and it is traveling from north to the south, and India, it passes through Moscow, Azerbaijan, and then Iran, and then followed to Bombay. But India wants that the Chabahar port to be placed in this north-south transport corridor, and obviously we benefit from it in case, because Chabahar, we are totally deep into it and we are maintaining it. Well, India is planning to sell the BrahMos missile to Philippines. To check the Chinese South China Sea policy. and let's see, as of now it is still not purchased it, but it is in pipeline, so we look forward to it. As per the reports, the Western Colombo's Colombo Port's West Container Terminal is likely to be handed over to India. I think the Adani Group is taking over that. Well, this is a good step as far as we are concerned, because our presence there in terms of anything, let it be a port or let it be a container terminal, whatever it is, your presence down in Sri Lanka will be of assistance during times of need, especially in the international waters. As I told you, India is ready to sell the BrahMos missiles, but yes, the concerns are there over American sanctions, and US has been constantly trying to put pressure on India that in case India sells this missile, India will be subjected to sanctions. Please understand that this is a missile which is being jointly developed from Russia and India. So America will have problems, and it will certainly change the defense balance in the Indian Ocean region. But for India, if it can do it, then yes, we will earn a lot of revenue from it. In February 2021, the Indian Armed Forces Andaman and Nicobar Command had held a demonstration of its amphibious assault capabilities, which included landing type of aircrafts and built specifically for the formation. It was held on 28th of February at a multi-dimensional military exercise at Swarajdeep Island. Post Galwan, now China plans to boost its defense budget by $14 billion. As such, China has been spending much on budget, but now with a humiliating defeat back with India, it is trying to procure many things for the altitude, at that altitude wherein it can fight India with the technologically advanced weapons. You should be aware that India has been training the Turkmenistan Special Forces in that mutual defense cooperation deal. India has been training them in special forces combat, free fall from a chopper, and other things. Here is a picture wherein it is just showing as to how to take over when jumping from a free fall from a HAL Dhruv. A lot of speculations happened when Joe Biden came as a president, saying that now his policies will change and it will be anti-India and it will be pro-Pakistan and so all such kind of things. One should understand that, as I kept telling much before the elections, that the any country's foreign policies will not change overnight with the change of its president or prime minister. There is a deep state which acts onto it, and here the Biden's national security guidance is also presently calling to increase diplomacy and downplaying of nukes and end the Afghan conflict. And India will be a very important partner in this effort of US. Recently, a US magazine has published I must say a story saying that the Tejas is more reliable and it has got a higher performance than the Chinese fighters. Well, even if, let us call that this is a bluff of India or bluff of US, or let's say even if it is not so true, I am just saying. But even in such case, please understand, US acknowledging that Tejas is a aircraft at par with at least Chinese gives us a boost of that Atmanirbhar in the defense sector. India's homegrown aircraft, totally A to Z, is the Tejas, and US acknowledging that this aircraft is lethal is more than enough for us. India is, as of now, has two aircraft carriers, that is INS Vikramaditya and INS Virat. Now it is planning to develop the third one, which will be called as INS Vishal, and this it is planning to do by 2030. Now the question comes as to why do we want three aircraft carriers when we already have two? Well, there are two reasons for it. First is that the support of conventional war against Pakistan, which would involve strike against Pakistan naval assets and land bases. Secondly, the carrier makes the Indian Navy the preeminent force in the Indian Ocean region, better able to command the area than any other foreign competitor. Basically, we are looking at the China and Pakistan in the marine warfare. During an undisclosed launch, the DRDO's Sindhu Netra is a spy satellite which has been deployed already into the space, and it is now specifically used to monitor the Indian Ocean region. So note this: Sindhu Netra spy satellite launched for the Indian Ocean region, and it will help to see the ship lanes and the other lanes going around the area. Well, in a good news to us, Sri Lanka has put the Chinese Sinopharm COVID vaccine on hold, and it has decided to use the Indian manufactured vaccine. Well, again, case in point, the trust deficit has to keep increasing like this, so it will be helpful for India. So I take it that this will have further repercussions on the other things also when it comes for the defense. Well, an update from the Defense Home Ministry coming in that the CRPF Jawans will go on leave from Kashmir to the other places of the country. Well, this is basically to avoid the Pulwama kind of attacks in future, and this came in when we were having the Pulwama Remembrance Day just few days back. The Army Chief General Naravne said that Beijing's South China Sea strategy won't work with India. Well, he has very clearly and categorically told that China's trying to bully its way with the smaller countries around the South China Sea, and thinking on the same lines to bully the India in the Indian Ocean region. Well, a clear and a strong message going in from the Army Chief, and I think it's a good thing. Instead of staying calm for all this years what we have been doing, I think this is a good thing. Post the Galwan and post this withdrawal of troops from the Pangong Tso Lake, India and China have established a hot link between the foreign ministers and to ease the border tensions. But I'll still say that India needs to be careful. In China can never be believed, and probably this pullback is just part of the deception what it is good at. India to supply 4 more mobile harbor cranes to Iran's Chabahar port. Well, we just discussed the Chabahar port. We have heavily invested into this. It will cut our long marine lines for the imports and export from the Iran, and also it will help in case if it can be added into the north-south transport corridor, then it will be a plus point for India. SMT point, the 5G selective rollout will be carried out by India in 2021. We are still apprehensive because with 5G technology, things can happen which you just can't imagine in terms of medical, in terms of your daily routine, in terms of defense. So India is little, I must say, cautious while approving this, but it is likely that by the end this year we will see some selective rollout. The foreign minister, Mr. Jaishankar, and the Uzbek foreign ministers have held talks and discussions regarding the defense and trade cooperation between two countries. Why this is significant is of late we have seen that Russia is slowly moving away from us and is slowly getting inclined. So the countries needs from the Russia or the nearby countries will be of immense help and a check, I must say. So the talks between Uzbek and the India are a good step in that direction. A very happy thing to note, and I was really personally very happy when India had very categorically told at United Nations that it has the right for self-defense and can and will carry out preemptive strikes to prevent any kind of terror attacks in India if it is planned across the border. So very clear message. Maybe I have not heard it, maybe for the first time in 70 years of our independence, that we have such a strong statement coming from India at UN, where until date we have been only preaching about peace and showing the second cheek. But this is required. This is the way the Israeli does that. In case if you poke your nose into our business, then we will chop your nose off. Probably a good thing, I must say, and this is the way it should be, aggressive. We had last defense update we had discussed that SAI is the internal communication for the Indian Army, that is the secure application for internet. And well, India, the armed forces has now confirmed through General Naravne that India is likely to use this the SAI application from 1st of April this year. So it will be a boost for the Indian armed forces as far as the internet and the other things are concerned, not being dependent on the foreign players. With humiliating defeat, I must say, which has happened to China as a face-saving measure, it just managed to mutual pullback and whatever it is. Now China is, after this defeat, has ordered about 27 armored vehicles specially suited for high altitude deployment. It has already taken a cue from our stronghold there, and it has asked for this such vehicles, and hence no doubt their defense budget also going up as far the deployment is concerned. A point in SMT, it is said that a Russian T-14 Armata tanks now will be able to detect targets without participation of crew. Basically, crew will be separate, the tanks will be separate, and probably the AI will detect, engage and fire the targets from the tank without human intervention. Well, India clears 3 proposals from Hong Kong on 5th of February, and the investment scrutiny remains. Basically, point here to bring out is that ever since the standoff between Galwan, India had stopped all kinds of trade deals with China. Now, clearing proposals from Hong Kong gives out a message to China that it sees Hong Kong differently and not as part of China. And basically, even these 3 proposals, 2 are from Japan and 1 is from the private partner in Hong Kong. The Japan's one includes basically the watches, Seiko watches and Nippon Paint, and the third one basically is a private player from Hong Kong who wishes to invest into sports industry in Hyderabad. The Cochin shipyard has been the lowest bidder for the 10,000 crore contract to build the missile vessels for Navy. Just point to note that the Cochin shipyard building company will be building the missile vessels for Indian Navy. So Atmanirbhar again, not depending on the foreign countries. China refits combat trucks in Tibet to take the Indian military. As we just discussed, it is trying all sorts of stunts to have their wheelbases replaced tracks in 2 kinds of vehicles to streamline logistics and for faster deployment as per the Chinese reports. Well, these changes will allow the troops to use various weapons while maintaining one system, whereas as per some of the analysis. Well, SMT point, the US Air Force has started to begin assembly of an airborne laser. This was just on drawing board all these years. It was just as the futuristic weapon, but now it will be a reality very soon. Instead of missiles, now the lasers will be fired onto either the enemy aircraft or the airborne object or a missile. Then in case this is successful, and if the aircraft can carry such a payload, and then the entire dynamics of the aerial fighting will change. The Russia has reiterated that its talks with Pakistan is only on Afghanistan and will not hurt any Indian ties. Well, India has been conveying its displeasure to Russia in subtle ways due to its Russian partner going deep with Pakistan, selling its weapons and other thing. And Russia would certainly not like to lose one of its major defense customer in terms of India. So Russia has said that though it is increasing its engagement with Pakistan, but the foreign secretary says that these talks are basically around development in Afghanistan and the role of Taliban in it. And the foreign secretary of Russia has assured that it will not impinge any ties with the India. The Tejas aircraft, what we just discussed, it is likely that the ELTA radars of Israel may be replaced with, or I must say, at least one in two of the Tejas fighters will have the Indian grown Uttam AESA radars, which will be integrated with Tejas. So till now there is no doubt the Israeli radars are the best, and ELTA is the company which develops it. But probably this is how a country should slowly think on its own equipment. So one out of every two Tejas will have a Uttam AES radar. So we can see if it is lacking or maybe it is at par. The Prime Minister hopes that in a recent meeting, he said that the smaller countries' fears will help to meet India's 5 billion weapon sales target, which he has put this year. Basically, he was referring to the smaller countries near India, like Myanmar, Maldives, Bangladesh, and Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and other things. Well, it is rightly also so. You can cash onto their fears and improve our weapons sale target. A term what you should know is pump and dump scheme. Pump and dump scheme is basically the antivirus company McAfee was recently charged in the cryptocurrency scam, wherein it said that through this pump and dump scheme, it was promoting the cryptocurrencies on Twitter, and also at the same time driving up its value. So recently this name has come in of McAfee has been charged with such things, and the international court will look into it. The Indian Navy and Sri Lankan Navy has conducted an combined air observers training, and this was carried out in the Indian Ocean region and especially the exclusive economic zones. And this will help in countering any maritime illegal activities going on. We just covered this Nord Stream 2. I am sorry that I clicked it again. Well, with that, we wrap up this edition of Defense Update and some tidbits of the SMT. If you like it, do click that like button and subscribe, and do tell your friends about this same. Stay blessed. Goodbye.